This is Muhammad Arfan again, and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, we will learn about how to make changes in the existing process dataset in SimaPro. So, I would like to ask you, if you like my videos, please subscribe my channels and give likes. And if you have any questions regarding lifecycle assessment, lifecycle costing, or use of SimaPro for different purposes, you can just write a comments. I will try to come back to you as soon as possible. So let's come back to how we can make changes to existing process data set in SimaPro. To do this, I go to the vegetables. For example, you can select any process in SimaPro, but okay, let's go to the vegetables. Then we can find, for example, a tomato production. Uh, yeah, in Mexico, for example, or Netherlands, or anywhere. So we can take this process to make changes in this data set, in this process data set. For example, this process of 1 kg of fresh grade tomato production in Mexico has this sort of inputs from the nature, this sort of inputs from the materials, from the technosphere, and energy, transportations, and so on, so on. And you can find relevant comments here, for example, how these values has been used or put in this database process data set. And the most important thing, that this process is representing a production system where the yield of fresh grade tomato production per hectare is this one, 30,400 something. So uh, how we can make changes, for example, here, or input from the material, from the technospheres, input from the technospheres in terms of energy and transport, and maybe type of materials used, for example, fertilizers, or transportation activities. So to do this, we just have to make a copy of this process, because we cannot make changes in the existing data set. You see, we cannot make any changes. So in order to make a changes in this process data set, you have to create a copy of this first. So to do this, right click on the process, click on the copy, and then to create a copy of this process, you have to change the name. Otherwise, you cannot save the copy of this process. So for convenience, I use this symbol so that this copy represents at the top of this existing data set. So I use that name which I remember, which I can easily remember. So I change the name of this data set, this process. I just do Control plus S. Okay, it says that the name already exists. Okay, yeah. So here you can see the process, existing process, copy of the existing process has been made. Just click on this process copy that you have created. And then here you can see you can change whatever you want. So we can make changes according to our own case. We can change the units as well. If there are, we can change the inputs from the technosphere, from the nature. And in your case, for example, if you have any avoided products in your process case, you can add a avoided product. For example, I say I have a waste, and then there is a heat that is avoided due to that, due to uh, the use of that waste from in our case. So we can just click what type of heat you are avoiding, and then you just give the amounts. You can change the units as well. And similarly, if you have another type of products or outputs that avoid something else, eh, you can add other things as well. Yes, if we look, and for example in this one, so the existing process dataset has an input from the technosphere in terms of materials is ammonium and hydrous liquid. Yeah, market for ammonia and so on. And this is the amount that they have used. And it is written as well here, calculated based on the literature values, for example, and so on, so on. So if you know that what is the value and what type of input is in your case, you can just double click on this one, and then you can find another process throughout the data set that SimaPro has. For example, if we change it to the calcium ammonium nitrate in China, market for calcium ammonium nitrate unit process. So we just right click on this one, and if you have any values for that, so you can just give on values, and yeah, and then choose the relevant uh, unit as well. So, and similarly, we can just give or change existing input of energy and materials and transport. For example, here it says that transport freight inland. Yeah, this is the way of transport, and this is how many ton kilometers these tomatoes has been transported. So if we have another way of transportation, so you can just right click on this one, go and find the right way of transportation in your case. Yeah, for example, we can see we can take this one just to make a reference here, and then the same way you can other make it. And if you have another values for transportation, so you can make this one, or we can, for example, say this one. Yeah. Yes, and similarly, if your process has any sort of additional electricity or heat input, you can make changes of that. And if there are no emissions of these elements to the air, you can make changes in this one as well, and so on, so on. So if you want to put an electricity, you will double add, go to the energy, electricity mix, medium voltage. For example, in our case, we can just click, for example, this one. Yeah. So then we can give 0.12 kilowatt hour per kg of tomato, fresh tomato production. Yes. So just do Control plus S. Now your process changes in the copied process dataset has been made, and now you can use this process, yeah, according to your case. Thank you very much. And if you hope you have learned something, and if you like my videos, please subscribe my channels and click on the bell icon so you can get a new videos with more informations. Have a nice time. Bye.